Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome to my channel. I'm about to take you through the 10 steps that you need to take to actually start your creative small business. Let's get into it. Before we do, if you're new here, my name is Cera. I'm the founder and CEO of Intuitive Edge Coaching. I am a life and business coach for artists, creatives, and spiritual practitioners. Basically, if you have a gift, skill, or talent that you would like to make a living off of and never have to get a real job ever again, but you've never really cared about business, you just have to learn how to set one up so that you can do the thing you really want to do, I'm the coach for you. So I'm going to take you through these 10 steps, and some of them may feel a little introspective, and you might be like, well, everyone else just says to file an LLC, and that's great. You definitely do need to have a legal formation to your business, but those things don't really help you get your business up and running the way that some of these questions that I'm going to ask you to ask yourself will. So I recommend you grab a journal, a notebook, a piece of paper, a pen, Notion, something that you like to take notes on, your phone's notes app, and get prepared to answer some questions that will help you get your business started. Here we go. And if you see me looking this way, it's because that's where my notes are. Also, right when I started recording, somebody started leaf blowing, so you might hear some background noise. I apologize, but we're going to get through these 10 steps together. So step 1, is your business a physical product or a service-based business? You're going to want to make sure that you know for sure which one of those things you are doing, or both. And it's because the way that you're going to approach setting up a physical product business is different than the way that you would approach setting up a service-based business. Physical product businesses have higher overhead most of the time, a lower profit margin, because you're going to have to buy the materials to make your products, or you're going to have to buy the products, you're going to have to buy shipping materials, you're going to have to be prepared to pay for shipping. There's just a different setup involved in a physical product business. If you are going to have both a physical product and a service-based part of your business, you may want to decide, which of these things do I want to release first? Do I want to launch my physical product and then outroll my services, or do I want to outroll my services and then start offering physical products? So you want to figure those two things out. The next thing number 2, you want to answer this question: what problem does your business solve? Or what does your business offer people that makes their life better or brings them pleasure? I want to and I'm good at this are not great reasons to start a business. They may seem like good reasons, but unfortunately, no one buys anything just because we're good at stuff and we want them to. We know how we shop as consumers. We buy things when we believe that the thing that we're going to buy is going to make our life better, is going to solve a problem for us, or is going to bring us joy or pleasure. That's pretty much the reason that people open their wallets. So before you start a business, you want to make sure you are very clear on exactly what problem you solve or what you give to people that makes their life better or easier or brings them pleasure. Number 3, who do you do that for? Who do you solve a problem for? Who do you make their life easier or better? Who do you bring joy or pleasure to through your work? You want to make sure you're really clear on that. And we want to get a little deeper than just demographic information. You don't want to say, I have a service for women ages 25 to 35, because that's a really broad group of people with very different needs. So a 25-year-old woman living in New York City working on a master's degree does not have the same problems, needs, or desires, or necessarily tastes as a 25-year-old woman living in Nebraska with 4 children who owns a ranch. Those are just not the same 25-year-old woman. So just going on demographic alone is not going to be enough. You heard me say up top that I work with artists, creatives, and spiritual practitioners. That's because I'm an artist, I'm a creative, I'm a spiritual practitioner. These are the people I know. I know what they struggle with. I know what their issues are. I know what they struggle with in business. We have a shared language. We have shared interests. So when it comes time for me to help them, I'm better equipped to help an artist start a business than I would be to, say, help a tech executive with a career pivot. Those are not the same business people. They're both technically business coaching clients, but they are very different, and what they look for in a coach is very different. So you want to make sure that you are very clear on exactly who it is that you want to be doing this work for, both because it's going to make it easier for you to talk to those people and to market to them, to design products and services for them, but also because you're going to spend a lot of time with them. When you are in your business, you're going to spend a lot of time thinking about these people, communicating with these people. So you want to make sure it's people that you really love helping and spending time with. Number 4, what's going on with your client in their life, on their journey? What's going on with them when they would be looking for your product or service, when they would encounter you? And you also might want to think about, where will you take them on that journey, and at what point might you part company? So I think of this type of customer journey all the time. For instance, if you're here, you're watching this video, I would guess that where you're at in your journey is that you are an artist or a creative, a spiritual practitioner, and you're starting to think, I really don't want to have a day job anymore. I really just want to do my thing, and I want to build a business around the thing that I really love doing, and I'm not really sure where to start. So here you are looking for information to get started, and you found me. I'm so glad you did. Welcome, glad you're here. If we were going to keep hanging out together, I could take you from where you're at now to helping you, say for instance, grow your business to multiple 6-figure years, to hiring your first team members, maybe letting a couple team members go, navigating getting your business all set up and really running as a company. But maybe at that point, you might decide you really want to venture into public speaking and doing TED Talks. At that point, you might leave my mentorship and go find a mentor who specializes in helping multiple 6- and 7-figure business owners develop a speaking business to add to their revenue. That's not my ministry. I don't know how to do that. So it would make sense for me to pick you up where you're at on your journey, to walk with you for a certain period of time, and then to drop you off when you're ready to go find a coach who can take you on the next phase of your development. If you have a product-based business, you might never want them to leave you. Maybe you're somebody who makes lotion. Your goal is that the lotion that you make becomes the favorite lotion of your customer, and they just replace all other lotion brands with your product and they stay with you forever. That's awesome. Maybe you never drop them off. Maybe you become a legacy brand to their family and they go on to have everyone in their family use your lotion. I hope so. Next, number 5, you want to think about the price range of your products and services. We're going to have another video that really dives into pricing because it's a very complex and nuanced topic. But just like what problem your business solves for others is more important than what do I really like making as a question, the price of your product is less about you and what you're comfortable with and what you feel is the right amount of money, and more about the person you want to target. There is a price range for every product or service at every budget level, right? We can get a 10-pack of hair ties at CVS for $7, and then we can also get a 10-pack of hair ties at the dollar store for 99 cents, but you can also get like a $600 Gucci scrunchie. They all do the same thing. I personally am not a $600 scrunchie customer, but those customers are out there. So deciding on your price point has less to do with what you really want to charge and more to do with the type of customer you're going to target. What does that customer like paying? So going back to our lotion example, is your target lotion customer someone who buys their lotion from the drugstore, or are they the kind of customer who buys $75 to $100 artisan, all organic ingredients, farmers market lotion? Or something in between? Are they usually a Bath and Body Works customer? Are they in the $20 to $30 lotion price range? All of the price ranges exist. It's just that a different type of person buys at those price points. So you want to think about, where does your customer fall in the price range arena for this type of product or service? You could also potentially be thinking about, if my product were on a shelf somewhere, what type of products would it be next to? So back to this lotion example, would your lotion be found on the shelf of a dollar store? Would it be found at the farmer's market? Would it be found on the shelves of Sephora next to lotions that were in the $80 to $85 range? We want to think about where your product would be placed in an array of similar products or services. Number 6, you are going to want to think about how you're going to market your products or services to your customers. So, are you going to use YouTube as a marketing channel? Are you going to use Instagram as your primary marketing channel? Are you going to have a podcast funnel? Are you going to have a newsletter or a Substack? How are you going to market? Is it all going to be paper flyers? I think about when I moved into the place that I live, the first week that I lived here, every single day my mailbox was full of local restaurants that delivered, dropping their menus off to me. Like they all knew someone new moved into this address, and I got pizza menus and Chinese menus and Thai menus. All of these different menus with coupons showed up in my mailbox. So there are businesses out there that still do very well on paper mailers, and maybe that's the type of industry you're going to have. Maybe you have a local childcare business where it makes the most sense to do postcard type advertising to every family with children in your neighborhood. That makes perfect sense. But if you have a service-based business that can be done through a digital course, you may want to have a more online-based presence. You also might want to consider, are you going to pursue all organic marketing, or are you interested in an ads-based strategy where you're going to spend money on Google or Meta ads for your business? And you want to decide that really early on. You don't need to be on every platform under the sun. You don't need a YouTube and an Instagram and a TikTok and a podcast and a newsletter, especially if you're doing all of this work by yourself. Pick your favorite platforms or the place that you feel like your ideal customer is hanging out the most, and decide on a strategy toward reaching people through those 1 or 2 channels. Number 7, you're going to decide on the legal structure, the legal formation of your business, and register it. You're also going to want to check and see if you need any special licenses for your city or your state for the type of business that you are in. For example, I work with a lot of people who are dance movement therapists. There are some states where you cannot be in private practice as a dance movement therapist. You have to kind of call your work something else because of licensure. If you have a brick and mortar location, you're probably going to need to get a city business license or a city permit to operate that business. Whereas if your business is all online, you may not need to do that depending on where you are. You're also going to want to consider if you want to just be a DBA, an LLC, or an S Corp. There is a lot of information out there on how to decide those things. For most people, I suggest that you have an LLC because it limits your personal liability. I also work with a lot of therapists and social workers. If you are a therapist or a social worker, you cannot be an LLC. You can't limit your personal liability. So there is some research to be done around how to set up the legal structures of your business. You do not want to wait on that until after your business is up and running and after you already have customers. You want to do that early on because you want to make sure that all of your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. You also want to make sure if you're going to register your business with your state, which I think you should, and potentially register as an LLC, so that's a federal tax distinction so that you can write things off on your taxes. You want to make sure somebody doesn't already own the name of the business that you're thinking of. I have seen people just start calling their business something LLC, but they didn't register the paperwork. And then when they finally went to go register their paperwork, it turned out that name was already taken. There was already a business with that name, and they had to rename their business after they'd already done marketing, which is kind of a pain. So you want to think about these things in advance. You also want to just protect yourself legally from the beginning. It's a little bit annoying to have to do the paperwork and get it all set up. It can be a little bit daunting. However, not as daunting as getting sued. You know what I'm saying? So just don't get sued. On that tip, number 8, you're going to want to get contracts, terms of purchase, and terms of service together for your business. These are things that need to be done by a lawyer. And early on in my business, I didn't know that. I thought I could just go online and find a coaching contract template and copy it, and that would be legally binding. It's not. Your business does need to have contracts that are drawn up for your business by a lawyer. But also, there are a lot of people online now, a lot of lawyers who sell contract template bundles on their website. You can also use something like Rocket Lawyer to get contracts. So you will have to pay for them a little bit. You don't necessarily have to have your own attorney. That is a great thing that's happening now, that people are giving you these bundles, or that you could do a service like Rocket Lawyer. But you do need contracts for your business that are created by a lawyer. And again, don't wait until you have clients coming in to handle these things. It's just going to be messier. Get them set up in advance. The next thing that you're going to want to get set up in advance, this is number 9, is business bank accounts. You want to make sure that you have the correct place to put money before it gets here. Do not wait and start making money and taking your business money and putting it in your personal checking account and losing track of what's a write-off and what's a business expense and what's business money versus what's money from your day job. Do yourself a favor, because tax time is going to be a nightmare, and then you're going to get overwhelmed and you're not going to want to pay your taxes. Do yourself a favor and get a separate account for your business. Technically, it should be a business bank account, but if it needs to be a personal checking account that you just give a nickname and you know that that is the account that you keep all your business money in, that's fine. You just need to make sure that you're separating your chocolate from your peanut butter. And finally, number 10, I think, get a mentor or a coach, or join a business coaching community. And the reason that I recommend this is because starting a business is challenging, and there is so much to do, and there are so many things to keep track of, and you're learning so many skills. Even just in the 9 things that I already ran through, there were 9 new skills that were listed in there. It is a lot to put yourself through to learn all these new things and to try to challenge yourself in this way, while you're also going through a lot of vulnerability with putting your work, your gifts, your skills, your talents, your face, your voice out for a larger group of people to see. You're exposing yourself to people on the internet sharing their unsolicited feedback. You might have your friends or your family all asking you about your business, and it can just be a lot. And so going through that alone is hard, and it frequently just makes progress take longer than it really needs to. You also may find that you will start working on your business, and then you'll get overwhelmed, or you'll hit a roadblock, or something will go wrong. You won't know what to do. You won't have anyone to ask. You'll get frustrated, you'll get derailed, and next thing you know, it's been another 6 months and you haven't worked on your business at all. All of that is costing you money. It's costing you so much more money than a mentor or a coach would cost. And what I mean when I say it's costing you money is it just cost you 6 months of progress in your business, and now you've got to start all over. It is a lot faster. The line between you and paying customers is a lot faster if there's always somebody there on your side that you can hit up when you have a question or a problem, or you're feeling vulnerable, or everything's feeling hard. Having a place to go where you can ask somebody questions and get support from someone who's been there before is the fastest, most cost-effective path from starting to being up and running the way that you really want to be. So those are my 10 tips for getting your business off the ground. I hope that those were helpful. This is just what to do. I go a lot deeper into how to do that with my clients. If you're interested in working together, you can always hit me up if you want personal advice or you want to talk about coaching one-on-one. The link for that is always in the show notes. And then, of course, I have a membership called the Elemental Entrepreneurship Coven. So if you're just starting out and you want to get coaching, guidance, learn everything that you need to know for your creative small business, and be in a group of amazing, inspiring, creative, funny, heart-centered entrepreneurs, I hope that you join the Elemental Entrepreneurship Coven. We'll see you over there, and you can ask me all your questions all the time. That's what I've got for you today. Okay, love you, bye.